Hey, so as you can see, we are bringing reviews back, kind of. See, there are movies, TV shows, video games, or heavy metal albums that I might not have enough material to make a proper video essay out of, yet I still might desire to discuss them in some form, hence why I'm bringing back reviews. Also, I will take review requests from commenters and patrons. Patrons will get priority, but I will consider requests by non-patrons as well, given that today's video was requested by a non-patron in Matt Eldridge. So at the very least, leave a comment below, please engage with me, requesting something you might want me to cover, and maybe, just maybe, there'll be a video on it someday. So with all of that out of the way, here is a requested review of The Rocketeer. The Rocketeer charms the audience through its unapologetically earnest nature. This Joe Johnston-directed 1991 adaptation of the comic book of the same name wears its heart on its sleeve and is proud of the type of movie that it is, that being a wholesome superhero film and a period piece set in the late 1930s that, while corny, has a soul through its interesting and personable characters. There's the likable yet hot-headed pilot protagonist in Bill Campbell's Cliff, a relatable romantic interest and aspiring actress in Jennifer Connelly's Jenny, Alan Arkin doing Alan Arkin shit, and Timothy Dalton's villainous Neville Sinclair, who is a douchey A-list actor that also just so happens to secretly be a Nazi. Because back in those days, Americans could only be a fascist in the privacy of their own bedrooms rather than proclaim their horrible views publicly to the whole world. You know, very much unlike today! The plot kickstarts into motion when our boy Cliff discovers a jetpack and armored suit, which allows someone who isn't afraid of flying and putting their body into harm's way, you know, people like Cliff, to perform amazing feats that a normal person otherwise couldn't do. You know, because people cannot actually fly. Peter Pan lied. And after utilizing the jetpack for personal use, as well as occasionally doing some heroics, Cliff becomes embroiled in a conspiracy where the earlier mentioned Timothy Dalton, secret agent Nazi actor, wants the rocket for Nazi reasons. One that could potentially give the Third Reich troops a big advantage on the battlefield. Because Nazis, they fly now.
They fly now! They fly now! They fly now!
That's what I just said, So from there on, it's up to Cliff, Jenny, and everyone else to put a stop to Neville's Third Reich goals of supplying arms to a German army that wants to deploy infantry units with flying Nazis. This story works because it embodies the Rocketeer's earlier stated heart and charm. In fact, the movie features big personalities in its heroes. Our lead alone features an earnest sense of heroism. Its extravagant sets and costumes representing an era gone by give the film a lot of visual character and definition. The movie's themes are blunt yet on point. The CGI effects, while dated because The Rocketeer was released in the early 1990s, just like me, overall enhance the film's cinematically rustic aesthetic. And then finally, the Rocketeer's detestable antagonist Neville is a really hateable and contemptible presence. You know, because smarmy Timothy Dalton. And Neville is detestable on two fronts. One is that he is a Nazi, which is inherently a bad quality to have. You know, the type of red flag that should cause any woman to swipe no on a dating app. That is a given. It is known. But secondly, Neville is also a pompous and vain Hollywood actor and is such an asshole on that front as well, that even without his Nazi shit, he'd still be a very hateable person, mostly because he has a superiority complex and cares way too much about his personal image, good looks, and the fact that he is one of Hollywood's biggest box office draws. Neville just exudes a personality that makes his face appear to be very punchable. Like he just represents one of those actors that's just way too full of themselves just because he's famous. He is a god-awful person, and he is absolutely loathsome.
An appalling actor.
So yes, The Rocketeer nails everything you'd want in a fun comic book movie made in the early 90s that is set in the late 30s. It has those big, likable heroes, an evil villain that's worthy of the audience's ire, elaborate costumes and sets, a sense of action, adventure, and heroism, and most importantly, an abundance of heart, proving that The Rocketeer truly is a charming cinematic experience.